Hey guys, I hope y'all are enjoying your Friday. I am handling some business. I really wish I had left out earlier to do this because I like to get stuff done before this crowd that I'm dealing with right now. But at the same time, I had to wait because I was getting some maintenance and service done, so I had to wait on that. So now I was going to wait until tomorrow to do this, but I need to get it done. But what I don't like is a bunch of traffic, and I just don't want to deal with it if I don't have to. So guys, I want to talk with you about understanding that how a person presents themselves in their occupation, or even how they present themselves even like in a ministry or in their community, whatever they're doing, does not necessarily reflect who they are as a person. While it might, it does not always reflect who they are as an individual. And what do I mean by that? Someone can be very much a high achiever, well known in their community, have accomplished a lot of things in their lives. They are very charismatic. They're loved by the public and adored by the public. But that's just their occupational self, Also, the person can do very good things like in their church community. They are on time, they are dependable, they are considerate, they are just the best thing. But perhaps who they are to their family or who they are at the workplace might be different, you see? So there's kind of like a few things that could come into play here. They may be highly respected at the church, but they're different at their jobs. There are people that they are on time for church and they work hard at church, but they are always late for work and half-stepping at projects and things that needs to be done. And at the same time, you can have a person that does their job well. They are being promoted. They're well liked. Everybody at work say, here's the thing. They'll take the shirt. He will take the shirt off their back for you. She will take the shirt off her back for you. But their family may have a completely different story. Or their lifestyle online in chats or whatever, they're giving off something that's completely opposite. So the reason why I say this is that you will not make the mistake to say, wow, this person seems a certain way. The way people present themselves online and in a certain setting is not necessarily indicative of who they are in real life and in a different environment. And that's why you'll find people there, people who they find out that they had some dark, sinister side. People can't believe it. And they will say, oh my gosh, this person was so kind and they were so this. Because, there are different sides of people. Now, that's why it's really important, guys, as believers of God, that we always ask God to search our hearts. And we need to be able to face the reality of those nasty little ways or those habits and things that we have. Something may just come across your mind, but if it's crossed your mind maybe one or two times, you need to realize, hey, this is something that's potentially brewing and percolating in there, trying to come out within your heart. So the first thing is it's thoughts, and the thoughts are going to reach the heart. And then whatever you entertain in your heart and in your thoughts will eventually become a reality. So we have to say, God, make me a person who is pure and is true, and God, that I will be more inclined to follow after you. I will treat people the way that I want to be treated. Okay? Treat people better than you want to be treated. That's something, because some people, their mindset, they believe they should be abused. They believe that they should be mistreated. But that's an unhealthy mindset. But guys, I just wanted to just say to be aware of that. A lot of times people getting paired off in the church because of how well a man is preaching and how he can how he is worshiping and how he looks at church, and he has this highlighted Bible and he's a praying man. Just because someone comes to church, there are men who literally goes to church, and they go to church and Bible study, and it's a way to get women, because there are a lot of women who, if you're not walking in wisdom, all right, you'll automatically gonna be like, wow, he's in church, he go to church, girl, and he go to church during the week. It's bait. And the same thing, there are women that will go to church for, to find somebody they can take advantage of. They might not even be trying to get married to that person, while some are, but they have no character whatsoever, but they make sure they come in those bodycon outfits and them terror cloth outfits where you can see the split in her butt and the jump of her buns, buttered buns, just up in the church. And sometimes she's not looking for a husband. She just wants to find a naive Mr. Ernest. She find an old man that she can tell a sad story to and have him paying off her, making car payments and signing off things. There are women that enter into the house of God for things like that. But they may appear a certain way because she is singing and crooning and doing all that and worshiping praise, and she's on time and she is diligent in working, does not mean that her character matches. So who a person is outside of the public can be quite horrifying. And then there are others that they are the same in public and when no one is looking. And that's what you want, a person of character. I could be on here doing all these videos right now and sounding all good, and then I get off here and I could be a tyrant at the house. Everybody shut up! Just carrying on, doing the most. Just a nightmare to the community. So you always have to pray, and I'm not, guys. I'm just giving an example. I'm not saying there's not times I have to raise my voice around here. I do, but I'm very mindful. That is something that God has made me mindful of. If I am saying too much, or if I feel upset, the Lord will say, don't speak until after you've cooled down, or just send them to bed. Or if I spoke and I just said too much, and by that just meaning not using profanity and not even saying hurtful words, but I'm talking too much about a matter, then the Lord will let me know. You've already said that. At this point, you're harping. He doesn't say it exactly like that, but he'll let me know, like, you're grieving your child's spirit because you're repeating yourself. Or by saying too much, sometimes there's a situation at hand and I'm talking to my child about something, and then I refer to something else they did. Like, like that last time when you did this, then the Lord has taught me, you can't do that. You already dealt with what they did before. So when you are upset with them or they've done something, deal with the situation right now. Or you can say something like, this is not the first time you've done this, and you're repeating it, right? And I'm beginning to see, and I'm coming to the conclusion that you're not learning your lessons, something like that, rather than, and then last week you did this, and it's just something that naturally happens in parent mode. But the Lord is like, you're bringing up the past. Deal with what's happening now. You see, so those are the things that God would help you to do, guys, so that you are not shady grady behind closed doors and then popping up with a halo on your head in a different environment. And so, guys, we all can learn from this, but definitely, guys, don't be quick to just ask God to reveal to you who a person is, because you're not going to know what they do behind closed doors, for the most part. But the Lord will reveal to you certain things about that person. If they're getting to know you, you're gonna find out. It's gonna be something that's gonna come out in that phone conversation, or maybe you're going out with them and you see how they reacted to a situation, and You may not even necessarily be dating, because every relationship is not a dating situation, but you will have an opportunity to see the character of this person that you just think, hey, you could be friends with them. Who they are and how they are presenting themselves may or may not be who they are behind closed doors. But you have to understand that you have to delve into a lot more than how they present themselves to the public, and truly who they are in character. Okay? Because a person's character is indicative of the spirit man and what they have going on inside. Okay? So anyway, guys, that's all I have. Let me know what you think about it. Oh, I forgot to tell y'all. Here's a joke I was going to tell y'all. It's not a joke. It's something that happened for real. This is an example of it's not exactly a good example, but it's similar, kind of similar. So when I was in the military, like a long time ago, I think I was so young. It's probably like my very first duty station in the military. And I worked at the hospital. So there was this guy that was at the hospital. And I mean, in his uniform, he just was like, just dressed right. I mean, he looked sharp and everything. And so he asked me out. And so he came to pick me up. Now, I had this vision in my mind of what he's going to just look like outside of the uniform. But honey, outside that uniform, he looked like somebody's daddy. I was like, oh my gosh, the way he dressed was so different. I guess back then, some people were like starching their jeans. I guess this was a thing. But I grew up in Brooklyn. This is absolute just the wrong answer. So culturally, how I grew up and seeing that, oh no, those are disqualifying factors. And it's shallow, I must admit, I was pretty shallow back then. I was nice, but I don't think I was all the way. I had some shallow ways. Because seeing those jeans that look like you can cut some French bread with it, 10-day-old French bread, I was like, no. So he came, he had on jeans, and I guess he was really trying to push them skinny jeans back in those days. And skinny jeans just came out like, 6, 7, 8 years ago. But he was rocking them way back when, okay? And I was like, hold on. So he has on this tight shirt. He had on an Under Armour shirt, like one of those workout shirts to go out to eat. And he had on this tight gold chain. I think he had a cross on it. And it looked like maybe Jesus was on it, or, who they say is Jesus, was barely hanging on. It was so tight. He was slipping off the cross. The chain was so tight. And he had on the tight shirt. And he had on the tight jeans with the huge creases in it. And then he was wearing some Stacy Adams sandals. Oh my gosh. That's when I was like, he looked like somebody's uncle or somebody's old granddaddy with them Stacy Adams on. I know Stacy Adams makes nice shoes, guys. I personally, okay. But he was wearing sandals. The ones with the buckles on the sides, and they look like church shoes, but they're sandals and they're all meshed up. Oh my gosh. So for my age at 19, that was just so much overload. And I was like, no. I still went out with him. But when he came to pick me up, because I was telling my friends, oh yeah, he's so cute. And so my friends, they're all waiting in the room, waiting. He came. I was so ashamed. I went in there looking like, oh my gosh. They're looking at me like, we're going to talk about you when you get back. But anyway, I went out with him, was like, please let this be over. And that was the end of that. I'm going to stop there. But let me tell you something. That's a funny kind of story to show you how somebody could look a certain way, but they're completely different outside of that. Now, this had nothing to do with his character or anything like that. But my expectation of what I thought he was going to look like. I mean, I didn't have like a specific brand of clothing I wanted him to have on, but definitely that tight shirt and those tight jeans and those big creases, and then wearing the Ricky Ricardo, Stacy Adams That tight cross. Oh my gosh, that tight chain. And then, oh my gosh, he was chewing his gum like. I was just like, is this the same person that I saw in uniform? Oh my gosh. So guys, everything is not how it seems. Again, this is not the perfect example, just something to throw in some humor like I do when I give my messages. But watch the seed, watch the fruit, watch the character. That's what's going to be true. A person who is genuinely nice and who's genuinely a good person, it's not that they're going to just be laughing all the time and they're not going to have bad days, but they will have enough character where you are not dealing with a living nightmare behind closed doors or somebody who is completely different when they get you out by yourself. All right, guys, and pay attention to it. Don't ignore it. When you see those red flags, pay attention to it because it can be a matter of life and death. All right, guys, peace out.